and YouTube, getting my cards out.
I am so set up. I had my coffee this morning. I even didn't work out so I could have energy I have so many readings today. I'm so excited, but the energy.
Yes. So if you're joining now, and we're going to give it another couple seconds here for people to join live on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, Mary. Hey, Deshawn. Thank you all for joining. So if you want a reading, if you have a particular question, please go ahead and start typing it in, because we're here to do readings for you guys today.
Yes.
So we'll each pull cards for you and answer your questions and read the energy of it all. And I was thinking too, Jazmine, because like I know that you pull your cards. Are you pulling tarot or your oracle? What are you pulling?
I pulled oracle.
Okay, because I'll do tarot, but what I might decide to throw in is if there is a suggestion for healing in there too, then I will mention that. Okay, that's something slightly different. So I'll let you know if that comes up. Still questioning the inheritance. Renee Munoz, 1970.
So the story with Miss Renee is her hubby's sister, I believe, essentially took all the inheritance and like never really split it up, and we believe she took the money, but they're supposed to be going to court for it. So maybe we can read into the energy of like, because we're right. Renee, just let me know, you're still going to court for it, right? That's the last time I checked up on you was court. So if you can give us a specific question, just because she may not know what you're talking about, that would help.
Okay. Let's see.
The moment I start connecting, my nose starts running so bad, you guys.
Isn't it weird what happens to us physically?
I don't understand the nose. Ooh, okay. So yeah, so Renee pretty much said that was correct. So I guess for her, I would ask, how is the court going to favor? Like, are they going to be able to actually get some of their inheritance back?
Okay. All right, and then Mary has a question when we're done with that.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so I'll just kind of tell you what I got first, because it's not as detailed as I was hoping. It's very kind of there's just lessons in everything. So what I will just say is, one, just be patient, because the first card I have for you is balance, and it says the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. This is going to be a journey. And it's one of those things where you don't even think that you have it or don't have it. It's just when it happens, it will be a blessing for you, if that makes sense. Because the second card I then got was a life experience. So like, I just feel like this whole situation is going to be a life experience, but more like life lessons as well. It says a significant life event, powerful revelation that leads to change, spread your wings and fly. And that just makes me feel like with the steps that you take, you're going to gain more knowledge, and it will flow, I feel, more your way. But then the third card I have is the Emperor, and it says organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. Yeah, that just makes me feel like court's going to be a long process, to be honest. Like, long enough to where you may, like, years.
Yeah, I was getting that too. Like, court stuff, you have to, if you're going to be dealing with stuff in court, you have to have patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's interesting because these are all very like big card, but at the same time, like these are big cards. So I feel like this can be a really great momentum for you, but it is just one of those things where if you don't have the patience, then it's just going to drain your energy more than it would be beneficial to you in the long run anyways, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. What'd you get, Miss Rosalyn?
Okay, yeah, we got questions piling up, so be patient. If you can hang in there with us as we're going through one at a time, we'd really appreciate it. So the first card that I got is the Emperor card in reverse, and then followed by Page of Swords, and then Four of Pentacles in reverse. So what I'm getting here is that I almost feel like an overturning of something, and that's kind of what I'm getting with the Emperor energy, with ultimately the Four of Pentacles, with something being released to you. So something coming back to you that is actually rightfully yours. So I do feel current energy read at the moment, okay, I stress at the moment, is that you do have something coming towards you. You got to release the whole it's mine though. Mm-hmm. Like when I say it's mine, I'm not saying law of attraction, oh, it's mine, it's going to be mine. I'm talking about hey, it's mine, the energy of anger and mm-hmm. control behind it. Okay, that's it. So yes, that so if you happen to be really upset over this, I would do some releasing through journaling, writing. If you're not a big writer, I always have my clients speak into their voice recorder on their phone, but with the intent of releasing anything that's pent up inside, because anger will anchor the situation to you, and it's just going to be even longer than what it originally set out to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Makes sense.
All right, so who is next? So yes, you guys can ask. So we're getting more people on Facebook and YouTube. You can ask. However, we do have a queue here. So Mary is next. She has questions on where do I stand with my career? Where do I stand with my career?
I just got a really gut-wrenching feeling. So that to me makes me feel that you need to take your career into your own hands. It's almost like you're waiting to be seen, you're waiting to be heard, but maybe that's just not the company you're supposed to be at if you're trying to fight for that, if that makes sense. But let's see what the cards have to say. Yeah, so the first card I got for you is an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. So I would just maybe look at the energy behind it and change your perspective. It's not what they're doing to you, it's what you're allowing to kind of happen. And you have the strength, but are you going to use your strength to do what you know you want to do at the end of the day? Because this illusion it's the feeling of being trapped is an illusion. You totally have control over your life. I will say there's definitely some sort of opportunity I feel like coming your way within the next 2 months or so, because I am feeling like juggling. I'm feeling two things in my hand. So I do feel like that something may fall into your lap. But the second card I have for you is unity. And it says, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. For some reason with this that I'm feeling is the people you work around are going to be very important to your just self. You just may be very, sensitive to energy, very empathic. And I feel like it may be a position where you almost are projecting insecurities on yourself. It's not, I don't know how to say that I don't want to say too sensitive, because it's not like you're too sensitive. I hate using the word too sensitive, but it is the way they talk to you isn't a reflection on you, it's a reflection on them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But this last card says, again, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. There we go. So thoughts that I feel like that may be taking over your ability to make that move. So when it comes to your career, I do see a shift would be beneficial to your health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health. But at the end of the day, no one's going to be able to do that for you. And I do feel like they're waiting for you to take the action.
Good. Because that's, I mean, I'm going to piggyback off that with the Ace of Pentacles, followed by Queen of Pentacles, these are really good cards to start with, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So when you're talking about confidence, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles don't always necessarily represent money in the tarot. To me, it also represents that feeling of self-worth. And just knowing what you're capable of, knowing your value and owning it. And so I think once you kind of embrace what you're capable of and what you do have to offer, which is a lot, Mary, you can really step into this Queen of Pentacles energy, being really grounded, self-assured, and knowing that you can magnetize whatever, whether it's an opportunity. I'm not sure if you're looking at working for somebody else or working for yourself, offering something yourself, but we all have a bit of an entrepreneurial thing within each and every single one of us. So I want you to focus on that, focusing from the inside going out, right? The Wheel of Fortune is about cycles in life. So if you can look back at particular things previously with how you've either, had jobs or businesses or things in the past, what have you learned from them that you can take forward? What would you be doing differently now in this particular opportunity that you're looking at? Because I have a feeling you are looking at something specific. So if that's the case, then I would be looking at what did I learn from before that I can take forward now? Because I do think that something, when you ask where do you stand, I think there's something like right there, like you're right at the precipice, and it's right there for the taking. So that's kind of what I feel. But I think it's up to that inward belief, and like that self-assuredness, because you have it. Okay, so I hope that that's helpful. Okay, and then we have so Deshawn, my life is changing so much so fast, relationship and career. I feel the universe is speaking to me daily. It is, for sure. Okay, so your question then, Deshawn, is this more of, I don't know, I feel like there's two things we could focus on. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm getting drawn to maybe just seeing what's coming up for him, what to kind of prepare for, what is life training him for next.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at that. Relationship and career. I got to say, as we're pulling the cards, something that I have found in working with clients is that if there's a particular theme in one area, it's going to filter into the rest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So keep that in mind. That see if there's a particular pattern or theme in both career and your relationship that might actually be coming up for you.
What's so funny is these first two cards are exactly what we were talking about. Wow. Okay, so honestly, I just feel like I want you to continue to ride this momentum is what I'm feeling, because the first card I have is the Lovers. So when it comes to the Lovers, what I feel for you right now is a lot of de-shedding, a lot of letting go, a lot of realizing your true self and what you truly need and not what you think you need. But this is intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions, good health. So again, that's where I think you're at right now. I do feel that there is someone right there for you. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if you already know this person or this person's going to be walking around in your life within the next few months. But I feel like your relationship is definitely going to get closer within this next year, which is going to bring you a sense of security. Like maybe emotional security, because the second card I have for you is Six of Earth, which says gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. So this just makes me feel like you're going to be in total alignment. So right now we're still kind of taking each baby step at a time. We're clearing away the shrub is what they're showing me. And that path is really going to make itself clear to you. This time next year, I feel like you're going to have a really big opportunity, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're in front of a camera of some sort. And I say that because then the third card I have for you is believe in the impossible. I think it's going to, that's why I said in the beginning, ride this momentum, because this momentum is going to grow. Now, there are going to be really tough lessons along the way, so don't think this is going to be necessarily a smooth ride. I do feel like 2 setbacks throughout this next year, but that's only so that you can catapult even further into a different direction that you may not see for yourself at the moment. Keep trusting yourself. You're on the right path.
Okay, so we got 2 of Wands, followed by Empress, and then 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I'm getting that you're going to actually have a number of choices, right? With the 2 of Wands, he's not really buckled down to one particular thing. So you're going to have a lot of options, I think, in both arenas, kind of like even what you were saying, Jazmine. So I think that that's actually really, really positive. Take your time, explore. Don't feel like you have to choose immediately. Okay, so I want you to still stay open. The Empress is all about birth and rebirth. So you are birthing something new. So if there has been a lot of really fast changes, that really doesn't surprise me as we're in retrograde season. So with Mercury especially. So if you are in the process of new things coming up for you, then please make sure, and you're probably going to hear me say this again over the next hour, make sure that you are not repeating certain patterns that weren't serving you before. So if you can raise your awareness there, then make sure to do that as new things are coming into light. 8 of Swords in reverse. This is really positive because with the changes that are happening, we tend to sometimes shrink back because it's like, whoa, how do I even deal with this? This is telling me that you're going to be in a place where you are not going to be holding yourself back anymore, which is a total level up. Okay, so be really, really proud of yourself with that, Deshawn. I think that, you know, if you start to get any inklings of like that monkey mind chatter, just remember that everyone who's ever been successful still gets that. It's just a matter of diverting the attention and the energy towards that and moving it towards your vision instead. So make sure that when those voices start to creep in, whether it's like a new relationship, new thing with your career, that you're going to go, okay, it's okay. I deserve and I'm worthy of a new opportunity. Okay. Don't go, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm too scared. It's on the other side of that fear is everything that you could ever want.
Amen.
Okay. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. And then we have, okay, so hang in there, Courtney D. We're getting people on Facebook too. So Toasted Stave was next. And she, let me go back. Thank you all for your patience as we're doing this one by one. So having some weird health things and contemplating a career change and possible physical move, trying to figure out if this is all connected.
What's the name again?
Toasted Stave. So, oh yes, I know who this is. So she has, she was doing things with wine, but I don't know now if things are totally different because this was a while ago when she told me about this. So, okay. So physical health things, career change, physical move. The physical move I feel is a good thing. Let me know if you get that, Jazz.
Okay.
Like right away.
Yeah, honestly, I do feel like the physical move is a good thing, but there is this sense of wanting to control a little bit too much. And just what I mean by that is sometimes you have to let the universe play out. And I'm saying that because my stomach started really hurting, like almost cramping in a sense. So it's almost like the control you think you're supposed to have is actually going to be hurting your health, which is going to send stress, which is going to affect your career at the same time, which is going to be more confusing. So I would say they are definitely connected. But first things first, I feel like is really just checking on why. So what is the theme for this connection? What are we trying? Control. That's the first thing. They're like, let go, relax. Like you're tightening up so much. You just got to let it happen. You don't have to figure it all out for you to take that step, is what they're saying. Which would make sense because the first card I have is asking opens a pathway. So again, it's asking, not telling. This is how I see it happening. I want to do A, B, C to get to D, to get to Z, whatever. And it says, when I ask questions of my inner being, I discover that beautiful and helpful answers always come to me. So I feel like your intuition is very strong, but you second guess. You're thinking too logically. You're a very energetic person. Your intuition is very strong, but you're getting in your own way, especially when it comes to like the second card I have is the unknown. That might be the scariest thing for you, but that's where a lot of your power is because you get to create what's unknown, right? And it says, I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos and my next steps are revealed. So I think if you're following your intuition, it shouldn't be a problem. I do think the move is going to be beneficial to you. I feel there's going to be a mental clarity there, but specifically, it's not going to fix all your problems is what I'm feeling. I feel like there's some emotional things that you need to start setting boundaries on. And this card I said, this third card I have is a time to give rather than take. I'm feeling that with yourself. It's almost like I feel like you're giving too much, whether it's to work, people, relationships, whatever it is. You need to kind of set those boundaries so you don't have to feel like you're supposed to be in control of everything at all times. So that's what I got.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So, so Knight of Pentacles is what came up here, Heather. And then Knight of Wands, followed by Page of Swords and Four of Pentacles, which is so interesting that you talked about control, Jazz, because Four of Pentacles is all about that. And so I have, piggybacking off of what she said again, the control thing I think is a thing because that can really increase a lot of anxiety, worry, that is just unnecessary. Feeling anxious over something versus being excited. Feeling anxious doesn't add anything to the situation at all. Being excited actually creates a higher vibration, and that can actually open you up to more opportunities where that you can see where certain solutions may lie. So if you want, you can pivot. It's like, okay, am I anxious? Am I excited? Because physiologically, they're the same in the body. Okay, so if you reframe it and be like, okay, there's more opportunities. If I move, there's opportunities. If I do a career change, it's opportunity. So what I would say from the cards that I'm getting is remember too that this is all part of your spiritual growth and journey and letting go of control. So here's the thing with that is that when you let go of control, it's not just being like, oh, okay, whatever. Letting go of control means you can still set your intentions of what it is that you want. And if you're not exactly sure, focus on the feeling of what it is that you want. Do you want freedom? Do you want like a lot of really good stimulation and challenges in a job or a new career? So think of the feeling that you want, and that's what you want to focus on. Even start to do certain things that make you either feel free, that make you feel abundant, that make you feel the things that you want to feel, because that's what you're going to end up drawing to you. As far as the physical symptoms, I think then if you can reframe and pay also attention to the racing thoughts that you're having. Again, you can't necessarily control the thoughts. What it is that when you become aware, you can go, okay, I see what I'm thinking. I see what I'm doing to myself, and I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it. What I used to imagine is my thought was a leaf in a river, and I would watch the leaf go down the river. I know that sounds kind of
That's so
corny,
cute.
but like
so
I
cute.
even drew it on a postcard because it's like I don't need that. I don't need that thought. I'm going to watch it actually go away from me, because just like feelings, thoughts are visitors too. We just tend to repeat them all the time because we give it attention. If you let it go, watch it go down the river, then you don't have to give it the power that it's having over you. Okay. All right. So I hope that that's helpful. I know that was a lot. Okay.
No, what?
I think we had one. Oh, what did you want to add?
I don't know. If there's something with career, or if you're wanting to change it, I think it would be really good for you.
I think so
That's
too.
that's really it. I don't know why. I just feel like it would be beneficial financially as well.
Okay. All right. So let's go to, oh, you're welcome, Heather. Thank you for joining. Okay. So we have, let's see, who do we have? Hi, Brian. Hello. Okay. So we have a number of people on Facebook. Okay. So Courtney says, I'd appreciate any insight on my life or home life, please. Anything that we pick up is appreciated.
Okay.
Why do I want to say right off the bat, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. If everything was perfect, you really wouldn't remember a whole lot. Right?
That's true.
Okay. And then, okay, so DKAOS, if you're still on, what's your question? So if you're asking for a reading, because yes, you can have a reading. We're going to try to fit this all in within the certain time frame that we're going to be on, though. So just FYI on that. So ask your question.
Okay, so Miss Courtney, first things first, it's time to love yourself on a really deep level. I feel like there's a lot of healing coming your way. I don't know if you're questioning a lot of things, but it may be a good thing that you're questioning a lot of things for some reason. I feel like there was a sense of survival maybe that you've had to embody growing up, or wherever you're at right now. And I just feel like it's time to start healing those parts of you, because I do feel a creation coming. And I say this because the first card I have is heart healing. My courageous healing journey brings me personal awakening and a deeper relationship with myself. So again, connecting with yourself. But then the second card I have is fearless self-love. Do you know your worth? Do you know how to set your boundaries? Do you speak to yourself kindly? Do you speak to others in your thoughts kindly? Because that is a direct reflection on where you're at. I feel like it's time to look in the mirror and start loving yourself. And not only that, not forgiving yourself, because yes, that's going to be part of the process, but forgiving others for maybe not taking care of you growing up, and understanding that you have to kind of rewrite your own story and take care of yourself on the level that you've been looking for maybe this whole time. And what that means to me, I really feel like it's time to start setting boundaries. I think you give way too much is what I'm feeling. But I feel like it's also because you're not being seen or you're not being heard. So you have to understand that you're not going to get that from someone else, and you really have to start developing that within yourself. And I feel like once that happens, and once you really start I feel like just talking really good about yourself, then you'll notice that you'll be able to make the changes you want for yourself a lot more easy than where you can at this point. So just know emotional growth sometimes has to come before the physical manifestation of it. And that just may be, I just see question marks around you. So it may just be like these question marks that you have around your life may be able to get more clear answers when you kind of know yourself a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Jazmine, do you pick up on any like a trust issue, questioning another person issue?
I will say that the self-worth thing came up for a reason, and there may not, once we realize our self-worth, you'll realize everything that you've been taking on that you aren't supposed to be taking on.
Okay, because that's so to add to that, okay, so Knight of Swords came up. Six of Wands is in the center, which I think is there for a reason, followed by the Seven of Swords, which is the reason why I was asking about trust. Are you questioning another person? But sometimes we end up doing that because what she was talking about, we're kind of questioning our own value, that we might wonder if we're either being taken advantage of, not being told the complete truth,
Did
or
you see
something
her?
being omitted.
Did you
Yeah.
see her message?
Oh, so, oh my gosh. So this is why this came up.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Courtney. I am so sorry. So here's the thing that I want to tell you about the Knight of Swords and Six of Wands. And oh my gosh, I want to cry. Okay, I'm so sorry, Courtney, that's happening. So it's like I feel for you. I really that empath part of me really feels for you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Be careful about acting impulsively because of the intensity of the emotions. Okay, I know that's way easier said than done. Yes, I feel like I'm being lied to, trying to sabotage my life. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. The Six of Wands, I feel, is like a dual representation. That could be you, that could be your partner here. So the thing is, with how the other card is facing, you don't want to act impulsively to the other person, get even, get revenge, that kind of thing. That never energetically is not a good thing anyway. Okay, because he creates his own karma, and that's what he's going to have to deal with. The thing is, if you also act impulsively and that Six of Wands is representative of you, that's going to tear yourself down. It's just not going to feel good. It may feel good temporarily, but be very, very careful about that. This is where I would say definitely find other resources where you can start to heal through this yourself, because that way when you're at home and you're dealing with the situation, then you can do things in a way where your decisions are much more grounded and concrete. Grounded means you're not going to implode everything else, because if this is already a situation where things are just really explosive, you really want to manage your energy as best as you can in this situation, so that way you can make the decisions that are right for you, whether that's to stay or to leave or work through it, whatever the case may be. Okay, there are people who come back from this. There's a lot of couples who can come back from this really,
For
really
sure.
strong.
We are all freaking human, you guys.
Mhm.
But I think this is just almost a just they're throwing something in your face and be like, are you asking for what you're worth, or are you just accepting what you're getting? So again, relationships with someone else may fuck up, excuse my language. There's always still something in here that you can learn from it. And it is that you do need to start setting boundaries and don't let people treat you like this, honestly. And it's again easier said than done, but you will
Sorry if you hear my dogs.
You're okay. You will notice these, not necessarily this specific experience, but you'll definitely notice a pattern when it comes to your worth if you're not demanding what you're worth. And it's really hard for females. Did
you see what she just said? My prior marriage was 8 years of cheating too. So this is a particular pattern, Courtney, that and it's not, I'm not saying it's your fault, but here is what I'm saying though, is look at also examine the energy that you're exuding. What may have you been not either paying attention to? And this, I'm just talking off the bat because I don't know you. What might you not have been paying attention to? Any particular red flags? And the self-worth piece, where that comes in, is that when you begin to embrace your worth, your value, then there's this thing where people who are like that, who are not going to be honest with you, tend to fall away organically, because you have changed the vibrational frequency and eliminated that pattern. So when you start to focus on, I am surrounded by people who are honest and who love me for me, who, insert whatever kind of affirmation in there or a mantra in there, that that's where I'd be focusing on, instead of saying, because sometimes when we get into patterns, we're like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep drawing the same type of person, right? I get that a lot of times in my sessions where it's like, well, look at what you are emitting. And so it's not a finding fault with you, but in a relationship, it's two ways. So yeah, he's probably got a problem, but the thing is, you can change this. You have the ability to do that. Okay. So I hope that that's helpful. We want to get a couple other people on here too. So let me scroll back. So if you're still on here, let's see. So D was next. She wanted, what did she say her question was? Her next steps. What are her next steps? She said.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Courtney, for letting us dive into that with you. I know that's heavy stuff. But anyone else who's listening, pay attention to what other people are getting, what their questions are, because when people come together in a group like this, it's meant for everyone who's watching. So D.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, so D. The first thing that I felt before I pulled up my cards were I was being drawn to anger. So I don't know if you may be carrying a lot of anger, specifically from the past, and maybe specifically towards a male. But I almost feel like that anger is going to start. Like, honestly, I'm seeing decomposing right now. Like, I'm seeing some graphic ass shit right now. So it almost feels like it's good. If you don't let go of the anger, you're going to start feeling it health wise. And I think this is important because I feel like it's time to share your story, and that may help you heal certain parts of yourself that you're protecting your others from or yourself from. I feel like you need to start being vulnerable. There's a lot that you've learned that other people can pick up on. But see, this is the weird, like, I don't know. Like this, I don't know how to read this energy. Because I'm gonna say the next step is figuring out your emotions and not holding them in and not boxing them into categories, and actually allowing yourself to feel them and share them and learn from them, but also take accountability for your life and understand that yes, trauma may have happened, but how are you going to move forward from that, if that makes sense? Because and then last card I got, because I'm really confused, says don't let pride get in your way. So again, it's almost like you're getting in your own way when it may come to healing. Very confusing. I don't know though. I can't like pinpoint it. What do you get?
Well, yeah, because since we don't have a lot of context, so that's okay. So we're gonna just tell you what we get. So five of Pentacles, followed by the Hermit in reverse, and then Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm not sure if there was a situation here where you were triggered for abandonment. If you want to comment on that, you can. You don't have to. Not trying to call you out, but it's but I kind of feel like whenever someone feels that trigger of abandonment, I always like to ask, how have you been abandoning yourself? Okay, because how you treat yourself is how that's going to be reflected in the people around you. And we kind of go, why is that happening? So how is it that you have kind of left yourself in the lurch? When have you not been paying attention to your intuition? When have you not been paying attention to your own self-care, your own needs in place of others? The Hermit card is telling me here that it's time to kind of come out of your shell then and kind of present yourself like, yeah, I'm someone who is worthy of being seen and heard. Okay, so whether this could be applied in a lot of different situations then, since we don't have a lot of other context. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with this. And then the Ace of Pentacles, the universe is going to be presenting you with an opportunity to embrace your authenticity more, who you are. So so the next steps, of course, when we're doing readings like this, a lot of it is all internal work. So let us know if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. And then we have hope. When will I see progress in my health?
Hope.
When she's asking, when will I see progress in health?
Ooh. They just came down with some. I feel like there's a sense where we need to be taking food a little bit more seriously. And they were kind of very strict about that.
Pretty adamant about that.
Yeah, like it's almost like they were like, whenever you decide to take those baby steps and change them yourself. Like it's almost like sometimes as humans we rely on doctors a little bit too much to fix our problems, when sometimes it's the doctor and the steps that you take that will overall fix the actual problem and not the symptoms of the problem. And I don't know why I feel like food is going to be a huge impact on your health. I feel like honestly a huge impact. I wouldn't be surprised if you need to be like vegetarian, but even more like gluten-free, like the whole shebang, especially because the first card I have is missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. I feel like it's time to heal yourself, but not heal yourself just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because the physical part is the last part that goes into play. And I feel like there's a lot of emotions that we may be carrying that is going to be adding to this. And I think why food is important, because a lot of it may be emotional pain that kind of affected the physical pain. And I'm specifically feeling like my stomach and maybe even like my joints, maybe some sort of autoimmune situation. But again, I feel like that's a really big deal what you're eating, because the second card I have is Three of Earth. And it's interesting because it says the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. You have to play in this part. It's not just you and it's not just the doctor and your body. It's what choices are you making? They're even going as small as coffee. Like you shouldn't be drinking coffee. You shouldn't be having sugars. And then like this card is super green. I would even stay away from spinach is what I'm saying. Like you may need to go get a whole panel done about what you may be allergic to when it comes to food. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Wow, that's really awesome. I'm glad that you got that. Okay, so I got Two of Pentacles in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, and then Chariot in reverse. Okay, so first off, this is going to take some time. So whenever you get to a place in your life physically that, especially if something has been chronic, years, months, years, it's going to take time to reverse. But everything is figure outable. I don't care what it is. Okay, I've seen miraculous healings myself. So understand though that you can take control. Just kind of, what Jazmine's saying. If you need to work with doctors, work with them. You don't always, if they give you advice, and I'm a registered nurse, I'm telling you up front, be your own advocate. So if you are given something in particular, see if it resonates with you first. Okay, but I think she's spot on with the whole diet thing. The Three of Cups here in reverse. You might want to lay off alcohol too. Okay.
Sugar, gluten, not good.
Yeah, the other stuff that might be going along with that. If you tend to be more of a social drinker. So these are things that I think that are really important to pay attention to. But the biggest part here, the Chariot in reverse, this is what tells me it's going to take a while. It's not going to be super fast, but usually what happens in stages of healing, it seems slow, and then you kind of come to a plateau, and then a breakthrough comes after that. So just understand that that's how it's going to go. Okay. All right.
And I have lupus, by the way, a really intense autoimmune disease. And my healing journey started exactly like that. It was really, really freaking slow. I really wanted to punch things in the face. And then I just stopped doing no movement up or down. And then all of a sudden, I have lost weight. I started feeling better. I live a different lifestyle. So just give it time. That took me almost 2 years.
Yeah. but you can do it.
Yes.
You absolutely can do it. Okay, so Garrett and Carla, she would love to see if she's going to move next month. She lives in a 1-bedroom. It's too small for 10 grandkids coming over. That's a lot of grandkids.
That's a lot of grandkids.
Oh, but that's so great. That's a lot of love.
I don't feel like you're gonna move though. I don't have a woohoo feeling about it. I have I'm still kind of here feeling about it. Maybe the timing of it. Because this one says being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. I just feel like money may not be. The housing, by the way, right now is freaking crazy. Rent is going up so high every freaking where that I've had multiple people ask me about it, and then where I'm at, rent's going up high. I may feel like it's just not the right time. And I can feel like you really want it, but I don't, energetically wise, I feel like there's something in the way.
Is something or someone? There might be, I mean, there could be someone else who might not be wanting to move. That's kind of what I'm getting here with the Emperor card. I don't know if there's another person involved or someone else.
That kind of makes sense, because the second card I got was ego, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, but like I'm being drawn to that specific person in front. The third card I got was a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Yeah, I just feel like there's something with the balance. It doesn't seem beneficial to you to move right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject on yours, Jazmine. So you're good. Okay, so the other two cards I got, Nine of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So here's the thing. I mean, your intent to move is because of the grandkids, right? So of course there's a lot of emotion involved, and sometimes when you want something so much, it can kind of push it off. It can push it off a little bit further, right? So I agree with Jazmine that it's the timing, because the Knight of Pentacles is very slow. It's a very slow moving action card in the tarot. So I do think it's going to happen. I just think it's going to take longer than what you would want. So it's not going to be in the next month or something like that. Okay, so I get that also. All right. Okay, and then let's see. Thank you all for all your participation and your questions. Krista wants to get some insight on her future. Krista Wiggins wants to get some insight on her future. And so we have a lot of people asking. So if we, due to time, if we can't get to you, just keep your eyes peeled. We're going to do it again.
I can't. I'm done with readings today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Krista, I don't know where to start. I feel like you gotta get to know who the hell you are, if we're being completely honest. I'm to the point where I can't sugarcoat anything anymore, because it's screaming in my face. So the first card I have for you is Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. But I am straight up getting a mirror, and I feel like there's time, you need to start having some self-awareness, self-reflection, understanding the part that you play on certain things. Because the second card I have is an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives. I'm getting a mirror, and I'm so sorry, but I gotta say what I gotta say. Whatever you're doing, it may not be in the right. like, I don't know. I don't know how to say this nicely if we're being honest. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm not stumped like this often, but they're like yelling at you because the third card I have for you is time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments, a guardian angel. You're the only one in your way, but the thoughts that you have, like maybe be a little, I don't know if we're judging others, but maybe we're judging ourselves. There's just a lot of reflection that we need to do and realize how much power you actually are in control and how much people really don't have that much control over you. You just kind of let things happen, or and vice versa. There's just their judgment is the biggest word I'm getting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, just check this out, Jazz. Judgment.
Stop. Okay.
So so when we talk about like insight into the future, what I want to say here with the 9 of Swords and 6 of Swords, okay, in reverse, is I want you to become aware of where you are amplifying your own fears, because that's kind of, you're creating the experiences that you have by focusing your energy on that. Okay, so because the 9 of Swords is all about anxiety, the 6 of Swords in reverse, this is supposed to be moving towards more peace, and it's in reverse. So, don't set up different things in your head that will either sabotage you. Because if there are certain things that you want to be doing in the future and you want to be able to look to the future with like hope and inspiration and, and motivation and like excitement, then we need to kind of look at where you might be creating different things for yourself where it brings those things in. And the Judgment card is, so when you talk about judgment or judging others or yourself, that's a really big thing too. If you judge yourself, you're limiting yourself. It's going to be hard for your future to be any different than what it is now. If you kind of go, well, I can't do this, or I suck at this, or I'm bad at this, or this is what life has dealt me, right? You have to take your power back. And so when you pivot the energy from anxiety, worry, fear, and judgment to some things that are more positive and upbuilding for you, you need to be your own cheerleader. You need to be your own pep talk giver. Because if we're waiting for somebody else to do that,
you're so nice.
Happen.
You're so nice. All I hear my guys are like, this bitch is causing her own shit, and you're not gonna know what's gonna happen in the future because you're not doing the work. No one can tell you what's gonna happen because honestly, we have a lot of shit to be working through. Like They are being rough with you, ma'am, and I'm sorry that I have to be that person, but I really feel like you need to hear it. Like, it's no one else's fault but your own. So remember that.
It's the tough love. I mean, and that when we say things like that to people, it's the whole like we understand that healing has a lot to do with the reparenting of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we can't make excuses after a while, because if you see what you see, you've got no one else to blame then at that point. So that's, sorry, that's what the tarot and the cards.
Literally, honor your commitment, and this could be a different story, boo. Focus on you, and that's all you can do. But I would focus on your growth and then worry about what's going to happen in the future, because if you don't focus on that growth, the future may not be as fun for you as you would want it to be.
Right. We have the ability to create. We just have to take it's always about taking your power back. So Ryan would like a general. Ryan wants a general, and and then Kashmikar 2018 wants to know about any job changes. So we'll see how much time we have left after these two, but we thank you for coming on. When we do hop on, it's at 12 p.m. CST. So. And it's first come, first serve when we do this.
Ryan, your energy. Oh my God, I am so excited for you, boo. Okay, I just want to give you a round of applause. First card is Soul's Journey. And look at this card. Look how beautiful that is. Mm-hmm. That is you.
Beautiful.
Like, if I could describe you, that's what I look at you like. Just this caring, empathetic person who is just a really gentle soul, but you've been on a fucking journey, excuse my language. You've been through the ringer, but you're going through this inner wakefulness where you're really about to find what you're made of, but not only what you're made of, but what you're supposed to be creating out of yourself. And I'm saying that because you're about to hit this pivot in energy. I would say December, January, but you may feel it more in February, March, where you're going to be more in the flow. And what this makes me, okay, I am picking up Reiki, energy healing. This is making me feel like you may find your purpose, honestly, and you're just going to be living in life and creating and being so wise with this inner wakefulness that you're also going to be helping other people learn how to flow with their energy. And that's like the greatest gift for you, because that's what you've been wanting for yourself, and now you can go and give it to other people. I just feel like continue being patient, because it's going to be paying off. But keep taking those baby steps, okay? Because this is really great. This is I think what they're saying is around mid-year next year, you're going to be creating a different version of yourself, and it's going to be very free. Okay. Go ahead.
I love it. I love this girl. So
I
Ryan,
do too. I'm so excited.
Okay, so Moon card came up, 6 of Cups after that, and then the 8 of Cups. Okay, so this is, sometimes people look at this and be like, oh my gosh, like sobering, like not as happy, but no. So the way that I read this, so with the Moon card, which we just had the full moon, by the way, right? So we still got, so like 72 hours after the full moon, we still can take care, not care, but use of the release with the full moon in Pisces. So continue to focus on releasing a lot of the stuff, especially around childhood. Okay, so any of those patterns that you see coming up, or like the inner voices in our head that are really not ours, but like from our parents, caregivers, that really are not as helpful, continue to just be aware, right? Observe and release. Okay. And the 8 of Cups is about, walking away from those things that don't serve you. And that's going to be freeing you up for exactly what Jazz is talking about, in terms of what it is that you're going to be doing. Because again, when we release the stuff that we have accumulated, not even necessarily by our own volition, but like just the stuff that we've held onto, the more releasing going on, the better it's going to be. And so this is actually quite positive. Very, very positive. So I love it. Okay, so Kush Makar, do you see any job changes for me? Okay, so this is off IG. Okay.
Honestly, the first thing I get is no.
Okay.
At least for 2 months.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. I love when that happens.
I know.
Okay, so yeah, like what I said, I don't really see it at this point, but it may just be a few more months. The first card I have for you is Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive, curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plan, truth delivered without tact. I don't know why I don't see you necessarily going somewhere. But the second card I have for you is 9 of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. So what I feel like is just, I really feel like there may be an opportunity in a few months, but not anytime soon. But then I have like romanticizing the past. So what this makes me feel like is just making sure I think it's a mindset thing for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of if you can fix, I don't know how to sometimes we have to be grateful for where we're at so we can open doors to even more things coming towards us. And I feel like that's what it might be. It's almost like you're blocking yourself in a sense, but with your mind. Like your mind can be very powerful, but it's not work. I feel like we need to start trying to rewire it, honestly. I don't know if it tends to go more negative or fear-based thoughts, but I do feel like it's time to start shifting that into a different kind of energy. But to be specific, I mean, to answer your question, I don't think so. Go ahead, Rosalyn.
Mm-hmm. No, you're so funny because when I pull the card, I'm like, she's already saying what I'm gonna say. Okay, no, it's all good because what that means is it's confirmation that we're tapping into the same energy for you people. Okay, so 4 of Pentacles in reverse, followed by Page of Wands, and then Page of Cups. So the first 2 cards, what it's telling me is that you even though you may want changes, it's the whole being really attached to what's familiar for you. Okay, so if you want a change, but yet you're attached or either afraid of breaking free from what you're familiar with, then it's probably not going to change all that much, even if you did change. Does that make sense? Like you might it would be like a lateral move, even if you did. So the same thing, I don't really see a change happening here. And it's interesting though that there's both pages here facing away from each other, which is more of like the novice, the apprentice. So let's say if you did want to change, I would probably say, is there something more that you can increase about your skill set, your knowledge base or foundation that could give you more leverage where you might actually feel like you could break away from the familiar. So that might be something that you might want to take a look into.
I think what you said that stuck out to me is it would be a lateral move. There is nothing that's going to make you feel better, make you feel worse. It's just going to be the same energy in a different location.
Okay. All right. Did you want to do one more? I mean, we still have a bunch of people, but like we're kind of closing in on time here.
Yeah. So I have a reading at 11:45. Oh. I mean, that's 1:45 y'all's time, I think.
Okay. All right. So we do have to wrap it up. I'm sorry if you're just coming on now. Either subscribe if it's on YouTube, subscribe to my channel to see when we're going to be on again, or either on our Instagram or Facebook pages, because we'll always announce when we're going to be on doing free readings. Otherwise, we're always talking about really awesome topics, and sharing with others how we work with our clients and the things that we have learned. So we do put a lot of free information, but we're plugging also, we have a virtual event this Sunday, and you can go onto Eventbrite or go onto our pages where it has the link. And my niche is more energy healing. So we'll be teaching about energy. She'll be teaching about intuition. I'll be doing an energy clearing for everyone virtually. And, Jazmine's going to be talking about getting in touch with your intuition and your higher self. So it's a jam-packed day full of really, really awesome info. I'll be throwing in a PDF in there too for everyone with the info that I'll be sharing. So if you want to join, we'd love to have you. But otherwise, thank you all so much for joining. We love you all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Right. Bye.